I just wanna let go. I ain't so low. Speaking on my arrow, but they don't know. Now you see the skin glow, sweet like cocoa.
Hey everybody, it's Benji, better known as Moiciara. And today's video, I wanted to talk specifically about surviving Amazon, as the title states above, or what have you. It's been 4 years. It's been just about a week since my 4-year anniversary, and I was gonna do this video ahead of time and all that, but I didn't get a chance to, so now we're doing it now. I wanted to talk about working in I work at a delivery station, so I'm sure it's probably not as strenuous as like working at a fulfillment center where they actually like put the stuff inside the packages and stuff like that, but don't sleep on the delivery station. It's a lot of work as well. I wanted to talk about that, being black, LGBTQIA, the pros, the cons. I just kind of want to talk about all that stuff because it's been a ride. When I first started working for Amazon, it really was like because I needed a job, I needed employment. It was during the pandemic. My previous employer, as some of you guys know, I was working at Walgreens. I was there just about 2 years before I got fired, and we were going right into the pandemic. It was March. I think the shutdown here in Chicago was March 18th. I would never forget that day because that's the day I got fired. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, this is the wrong time to get fired. I don't want to sit around waiting for unemployment because that's a whole process, and depending on whatever the circumstances that you got fired for, they have to prove it. I just didn't have time for that. I was like, I need to get another job. That's all I know. Like, me working, you know, I'm 35, I'll be 36 in October, and for a long time, that's literally all I know. And I know, like, oh well, 36 isn't that old, but when you've done retail and you've done, like, you know, sales of some sort, it's a lot of work. It's extremely taxing on the body, mentally. When I say, oh my God, it's a lot. Definitely coming from Walmart to Walgreens, and being at Amazon literally has been the most peacefulest job as far as I mean, I have to deal with customer service and any of that, because working in customer service, anybody who knows me know I strive to do my best. I strive to be as helpful as I can, assist as well as I can, be as informative as I can, because I always think about if it's me and I'm the customer, and I don't like people giving me a bullshit answer. I don't like people saying that, like, oh well, we ain't got it. Why don't you guys have it? Like, you know, I be wanting specifics. And I know it's kind of like annoying, but like I said, when you work in retail so long, mentally, like, you're just programmed and trained that way, and I'm so trained that way. Like, when I go into establishments, my mind instantly, like, I hate even having to ask them for something that I don't necessarily see, because there's a chance they're gonna give me, you know, a not well thought out answer, and I just be like, okay, and then I gotta, you know, find it for myself. But back to, like I said, I got fired from Walgreens and I needed a job. I needed employment. So one of my babies, y'all know me, I always call everybody baby. So one of my babies that was working with me at Walgreens, I think she had mentioned something to me about how Amazon was hiring or whatever, and I was like, Amazon? I was like, I'm like, I don't really know nothing about Amazon. Like, I didn't really know anything. Like, I'm telling, like, all I know is they deliver packages. I kind of missed the old Amazon because I used to do my packages like a little more prompt. But anyway, Amazon has become like Starbucks and McDonald's, and child, y'all know, like, Amazon's really like everywhere. You can't go in anybody's neighborhood without seeing one of those Navy trucks. So I just remember I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. You know what I got to lose? I need a job. So I applied. I think they had got back to me. I think I applied on a Wednesday. They got back to me. I want to say at least the next day or Friday. No, the next day or Friday. And before I knew it, no, my bad. I think it was just about a week's time. But either way, I literally had a job within a week. Literally within a week, I was back employed. I went that Sunday. I remember I went on a Sunday to go to my orientation, and, you know, had to take my little ID picture and stuff like that, and baby, I was hired. And I just think back to that time, like, I was just like, wow, like, this got to be the fastest process. And I'm like, okay, maybe because we're going into the pandemic, anybody will get outside, they're gonna need all the help. And when I say they needed all the help, they needed all the help. Like, I started, I believe 2 weeks after that was April. That's why April 3rd, I believe, is my anniversary date. And the 2nd or the 3rd, one of those, I believe, is my anniversary date. And yeah, that's why I came on here very, you know, no makeup. You know, I've been wearing my natural hair, you know, just because I've been wanting to wear my natural hair. But natural hair, I put on my little Amazon t-shirt, celebrating Prime Day. This shirt is from 2022. I was trying to find one of my old ones, you know, but I couldn't. I was like, shall we just throw on something just to be festive for the video. And right, so I started. We went through the whole little learning process on how to do this, how you work this, and all that. And I was like, okay, all right. So I think like the 3rd or 2nd day, that's kind of like when we hit the ground running, and they had us working. So I stow. They have buffers, stowers, and then people that work on the dock who get the stuff off the truck, scan it in, and then it goes down like different conveyors to different sections of the facility, aisles or clusters as they call them, and it'll stream the process of like, these packages go down this cluster, these packages go down that cluster. It's like a little do. I might insert some pictures, diagrams, or what have you to demonstrate what it's given. So I know, like I said, this is during the pandemic. I want y'all to understand this is 2020. So we're going through this whole COVID situation, and everything was fine until we got, I want to say right before, I want to say right before summer. I think it was like 2 weeks after I probably had started. That's when they wanted us to wear the mask. They had the little screens up. We had to get your temperature checked. All we had to stay 6 feet apart. Oh my God, it was something. I think that's why a lot of people might, if you didn't work, I feel like in a high intense environment, you probably wasn't expected as much from the pandemic. Like I was, like working in a fulfillment center, like warehouse type situation with, you know, a lot of people, because it was a lot of us there at that time. And I just know it was a lot hearing, make sure you guys are 6 feet away, and make sure you have your masks up over your nose. And it was so much, like, mentally, because I never witnessed, I never had to do nothing like this in my life. But we never had to do nothing like this in our lives. And it was such a mental process, you know, to, because everybody know me, I'm a hugger. Y'all know I'm a hug, I'm a touch. You know, that's just how I am. That's how I display, you know, my respect, appreciation, thank yous, whatever. So for me not to be able to hug nobody and touch, like, hey, ooh, child. And like, granted, I was obviously at a new work facility, so I hadn't built those type of relationships yet. But still, it's just, that's just how I am, you know. So they put us to the floor that, I want to say second day, if I'm not mistaken. The second day, I think they did. And they was like, okay, this how you gonna do this, you scan it. So we have like a what is the device called? We have a. I don't work at 3 different jobs and they've all been called different things, but I'm gonna call it a Palm Pilot because I can't think of it's a little handheld device, and then it comes with like a little ring scanner you put on. I might put this in there. And then what you do is you link it, and then you use the ring scanner to scan the packages and stuff like that. So basically they had put me in the aisle, and they was like, okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna scan the package, and then you're going to scan it to the bag or what have you. So I was like, oh, okay, this is simple. Yeah, it's simple. Like I said, I never did nothing like this, so I was just like, okay, boop, boom. Before I knew it, they put me in the aisle. They had so much stuff in it. I don't know if I have any videos or something, but I might insert some videos of showing the work process. So yeah, so they put me in the aisle with all this stuff. It was like, it just was coming by the load. So I was like, oh, okay. So beep, 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 beep. Like, they put, when we're in the aisle, there's bags from, what is it? A, B, C, D, and, A, B, C, D, E, and G. There's six bags, 4 racks from 1, 2, 3, 4, but we don't normally use the 4th tier, so there's like 3. But there's let me see, I guess you can say it's 24 bags on each side. So then when the packages come from our buffer, there's a rack, a baker's rack in front of us, and then we scan what they put on the baker rack or in our little bins or whatever for our jiffies. Like I said, I'm going to insert the videos. I'm just explaining it, but I'm going to put it in the video so you guys can see it. And boom. So you scan it, do that. And I just remember, like, I was like, wow, this is a lot. Like, but I was like, okay, I could do this. I think I had, at the time, I think I had my headphones. My headphones saved my life. When I say they saved my life, because I've never been in an environment where I could actually work and have a headphone in my ear. And now, granted, they have restrictions where they don't want you to have headphones on the floor just in case you don't hear whatever. But now they've made it where there's work approved headphones that you can actually wear on the floor. So yeah, whatever. But nonetheless, I was like, okay, this is cool. I can listen to my music, scan this stuff, and boom. And then we, like, at that particular time, we was getting judged by our rate, like how many packages we would scan and things like that. And I remember I was doing so good. I was doing so well. Like, me and a few others, we were always like at the top. And me being who I am, like, being a part of the LGBTQIA, I know I'm saying all the letters intentionally, community, like, I just know I always have to show and prove. I'm black, I'm gay, and I never want to ever feel like my performance is not up to par because of who I am and what I identify as, because people instantly look at me and have this assumption of, you know, oh, well, I just probably came in here to be pretty. I came in here to just, you know, do the bare minimum. And if you know me, you know I don't even get down like that. I'm gonna give you the best that I got. That's the type of time I'm on, because I just always want to show that my actions, my work ethic speaks louder than any different kind of color hair I wear, any type of lash I have on, anything pertaining to my outer appearance. I've always been like that, because I know when people look at me, their mind instantly goes into let me assume mode, and let me think this, let me assume this, because that's what I know, until they start seeing my work performance. And definitely when I started there, I had a lot of judgment, because for one, I stick out like a sore thumb, and I'm okay with that. But I also think a lot of times with me sticking out like a sore thumb, people, they feel like they, you know, it's very high school like, and I don't care what kind of job you work at or whatever, it's always very high school like. There's always a high school energy pertaining to your peers. And I felt like by me being who I am and doing what I do and staying to myself, because I didn't know these people, so I had a few people that I engaged and talked with at this time because I built relationships with, but I know a lot of people had they eyes on me waiting to see me fail. And it's always like that. They want to see me fail. They don't think I'm going to be able to maintain or manage, keep up or handle it, you know, all that. And baby, I defied all those odds. Within a month's time, I had been promoted to being a learning ambassador. And at that time, I didn't know what a learning ambassador was. I was like, what's that? You know, and a learning ambassador is someone who, you know, kind of like oversees making sure that packages are being scanned correctly, making sure the clusters, aisles, everything keeps running smooth, basically, and also to assist when people have any issues with the work. So I had got that in child, baby. When I say that was like a really hard time for me, because a lot of people had their nose turned up at me, and I didn't know why. I didn't know that there was a process for you to become a learning ambassador, because like I said, all this is new to me. People had already been there, were already, you know, looking at me with scouring eyes, like, you know, how you think, man, like, you know, and I was like, well, I don't know. They offered it to me. It don't come with no pay. It wasn't a raise or nothing like that. It was just more of a title. But there's processes in order to move into the company. Like, you have to do this, do that, do that, whatever. So I was just like, they offered. I decided to take it. That's all it was. I didn't know that it was all this behind the scenes drama going on about it, because that just wasn't it. So that happened. And then I just think, you know, I just think any job, like, you never want to feel like what you're doing isn't good enough, or people have it out for you so much that I don't want to say nobody intentionally. No, I can say it. People have intentionally wanted to see me no longer there. And that's normal. That's okay, because when people have their biases about people of the LGBT community and what they think and what they know, because at the end of the day, everybody know I'm a positive person, I'm happy. You're never going to see me like out of my body or character unless you really do something that deserves that type of time or attention, which I normally am so reserved that I don't allow people that satisfaction, because I know that's what people want to see. They want to see you irate. And definitely me being black, me being gay, they instantly think I'm going to give all this sass and energy, and I definitely dealt with a lot of that. Definitely when we had a lot of our leadership changes, you know, because our leadership changes is kind of happening like this at a point in time. And I was like, whoa, like, what's going on here? Why isn't, but then I found out that I was told or informed that our facility was like a training facility where people kind of like come to build up and then they get transferred. So whatever. But the first year, I'll say, was extremely difficult. Like I said, definitely dealing with the pandemic and just going into that being the new normal, working with these people that, I mean, kind of have it, I don't want to say out for me, but just semi-ly like wanting to see something wrong. And I mean, I ain't gonna hold you, like, I definitely didn't take the job as serious as far as in like staying there, because I didn't get hired permanently. I got hired seasonally, and and I just knows a lot of things going on personally, and I was like, well, you know what, I'll just quit that job and, you know, whatever, find me some other employment because of what was going on personally. And I was just like, okay. But then I'm so glad, right before I made that decision, I ended up getting turned over to becoming permanent. And I was like, thank God, because that was literally like my saving grace, I felt like I had to straighten up then. Like I was like, okay, I have to take this serious because now they have officially signed me on, and I don't feel like I'm in like this decision making process of am I going to stay, am I not going to stay. It was a good feeling. So definitely going into the following year with the leadership changes, I feel like it was more difficult because seeing leadership change, they have to get acquainted to who you are and your work ethic and all of that. And I felt like I was being tested a lot. I was being tested a lot to see if I would be able to keep up, and me not being there because I think I was taking VTO. VTO is voluntary time off. I'm a VTO girl. If anybody's watching this video that works at Amazon, I'm a VTO girl. I need to pull back from VTO, but it's one of the best things about being able to work at a job like that because you have an option to approve this time to not be held accountable for. Like you won't get in trouble if you don't go in, and you're able to use this time to do that. But yeah, then boom. So then it was just like the money. I honestly hadn't made this amount of money at all prior to my previous employer. Like I think at that time I was making like, I want to say just about $15, maybe. I want to say just about $15, but yeah, like I went from that to making way more than that, and it's just, I was like, wow, like at that time I was like, I can't believe that this is actually possible for me to make this amount of money, because I'm just like, you become conditioned to like always feel like it's a rat race. And remind you, when I was at Walgreens, I was a shift lead, so it's like to do, it's like I still wasn't kind of seeing it. So to go into a job and then making that amount of money, I was like, okay, I'm sold, like I'm good. And then obviously our shift changed. Like when I started, we was working like from 10, I think we was working 6 hours, 10 to 4, I believe, something like that. And then it went from that to, ooh, child. It went from that to 3, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say 3 to 2. 3 to 2. I think it was like 3:35 to 1. Yeah, 3:30. I want to say to 1:50 or something like that. And then they end up finally resting on 1 to just about noon, which is kind of like ideal if you stay the full shift. I don't normally stay the full shift because I just don't, and that goes into us having to pick, which is after we're done sorting, that's when we're scanning the packages to the bags, and once we get everything off the truck, everything scanned, everything done, we go into picking. Picking is once we pull the bags out said cluster, we get them ready for the delivery trucks to deliver them to whatever neighborhood. So yeah, so I don't like doing that, only because everybody be tired from their shift, from the other half of the shift, so it's like they don't be as punctual with getting it done. And I hate that, because I'll just be like, if I'm gonna be around here still moving, like I just clocked in, I be wanting people not to have the same energy I have, but still just be as like, okay, my mind is like this: the faster we get it done, the faster we can rest or leave or whatever the case may be. But everybody don't, of course, look at it like that. So once that's just done, then we go into our resetting the floor, which if you have some days we used to have to come in and reset the floor, then we have to reset the floor, we open the bags, which is we scan the bag and the location to open them up so they can be ready when the packages start coming in. We just scan it too. So to go through that and then have to do it again at the end of the show, like child, be like, what time is it? It's time for me to go. So Yeah, and it could be a lot on the body. Like working at Amazon, I feel like you either gotta work out or you have to become physically. Uh, I don't want to say physically fit, but you try to be physically aware. Your body, your limits, and what you can do. Because if you're doing this for 4 days, 10 hours, that's if you're staying your complete shift time. Like it's a lot on the body, so you have to be very mindful of that. That, like I said, that first year definitely broke me down. The second year wasn't as bad because I was able to kind of, be comfortable a little bit more. And then going into the third and fourth year, as I am now, I'm so I don't want to. I am comfortable there. I'm not gonna hold you. I am comfortable because I've talked to people about, oh well, why don't you try to find something that's a little more like relaxed based or suit whatever. I'm like, the thing that will keep you Amazon is definitely the pay and the flexibility. And like I said, I come from a background where I'm not used to that. I'm used to either having to use my personal time or calling off or there being some type of situation that would inconvenience me to put my job, I guess, in jeopardy in some state. Now, granted, I'm not gonna say I didn't do that when I was working at Amazon, because we used to have a point system before I became a blue badge, which is full time. And baby, my point system was like this. It was up, it was down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I was like, oh my, like, yeah, I was just so glad I was able to get away from that. All in all, I believe if you work at the right Amazon facility, you can definitely be within the company a long time. My goal, I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm gonna just say it because it's just I like being honest. I like being transparent. I don't plan on being at Amazon my whole life. I'm not trying to be one of those people like, oh, I was at Amazon for 20 years. Like, that's not my story. I want to get my life in a place where I can be there to not be there. If you know what I'm saying. Like, I have my business that I want to commit to so I can build and brand that. Then my my socials and stuff like that, because that's just me. I was talking to my niece about that. I was like, girl, like, I could have been a social media influencer because I've been doing social media content, but it's the truth though. I've been doing social media content for a very long time, and obviously it's changed and transitioned over the decades or what have you. But my love for it is it's there and it's not there. It's there and it's not there. It's always been like that. But with YouTube, I definitely want to grow this because I feel like I have a lot to say. I don't necessarily see done in the way I like. There's a very small sector of people who kind of, that's part of the LGBTQIA community, that actually engage in conversations and things that I want to hear about, that I don't necessarily see, and it might be boring to others, but it's not to me. So yeah, I know I've said like 100,000 times, but yes, I definitely wanted to make this video in celebration of my 4-year anniversary. To me, that's a achievement. Going through the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic, just being in an environment where people don't necessarily see the value in you until you have to really show and prove, man. Like I said, if you find you a good Amazon facility, hold on to it. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up. And I can't say that and stress that enough. Speak up. Don't let nobody try to punk you, make you feel less than. And if they do, you show up for yourself, because ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna do it for you. And you know what? I'll say this. I don't want to make it seem like it's just everything on my shoulders type of thing, because there are very good people. I mean, there's good people in the world just as much as there are bad people in the world. But it's all about you finding people, because a lot of times people have my back and behind the scenes, and I didn't even know, because they seen how nice I was, my work ethic, and me just being, a real ass bitch when it came to when it's time for me to show up. I'm gonna get the job done. And I'm so thankful for those people who definitely was supporting me unbeknownst to me. Thank you all. It's just like I said, it's just been a lot. I don't take it for granted. Sometimes, you know, that's just part of life. We take shit for granted. We can't, I'm not gonna lie. So yes, I definitely wanted to make this video expressing that to you guys, my trials, my tribulations, my good, my bad. Like, I mean, there's been good times, there's been bad times, there's been times I was just be like, I don't want to think about this place, I don't want to see this place, like all of that. But all in all, I can say I'm happily employed at Amazon. You know, today's, I guess I could say that. Tomorrow I probably won't feel that way. But yes, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your mama, your auntie, your grandma, your cousin, little cousin, your daddy, baby daddy. And yeah, that's all. Until next time.